the obvious place to start is the beginning.
Oh.
Where does it all start for you musically at the beginning?
I started playing guitar when I was in high school. I saved up my money. I had a little piggy bank actually. I saved my money, coins. I got $42. I bought an airline electric guitar from Wards, Montgomery Wards. It was really a piece of crap.
Was this an elbow land?
Well, Barrett. That's when I got my first guitar, but I didn't really start playing until I got to college, and I started listening to Bob Dylan and stuff like that, and that's when I started playing guitar seriously.
Do you remember the first song you learned how to play?
I sang it to my girlfriend, a Beatles song, Close Your Eyes and I'll Kiss You Tomorrow.
All I Love It?
All I Love It, yes.
Yeah. What are some of your musical memories in Barrett growing up? Were there bands to watch?
There were actually quite a few bands in Barrett. Barrett has a Lakeside Pavilion, which is a dance hall.
Mm-hmm.
And every Saturday night, they'd have old-time music in there, polkas and stuff like that. And then usually on Friday nights, they'd have rock and roll. They'd have teen hops, they called them. A lot of bands from, when I was a kid, a lot of bands from down south. These touring bands, rhythm and blues bands, with horns, and choreography and the whole works.
Right. Did you want to play rock and roll?
I did.
Did you want to be a singer-songwriter?
I wanted to be able to play rock and roll then, yeah. Then when I got to college, I started listening to Dylan and knowing what it's all about, and I started writing songs.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'll let you go at it again.
Thank you.
I'll be back.
A song called Take It All In. Breeze drifting through the apple trees, and I start to think of spring. Still a chance that it might freeze and set us back again. Geese couple up and take a swim, frogs croaking out quite a din. I'm just here to take it all in. Playing on my guitar strings and making up a song. Should be doing other things and get myself along. That's the place I've already been, and I didn't like it too much then. I'd rather sit and take it all in. Back when I was younger, I used to care. When I was younger and had long black hair. Now that I'm out here on a limb, I'd rather sit and take it all in. Me and Mama by the fireplace, contemplating sin. The preacher says we're saved by grace, but he didn't tell us when. Someone loses and someone wins. It's all over before it begins. Me and Mama's gonna take it all in. Me and Mama's gonna take it all before we fall.
So tell me more about this band that you and your wife were in.
We're in a couple different bands. We were a country band. Susan actually played bass in a country band called Homemade, and then she was our sound engineer we had a couple country rock bands throughout the years. One band was called Buckshot, and one was called Ruckus. Well, Saturday morning, I wake up see some superheroes on my TV. Well, you get some sleep, honey, I'll stop the war. Wheaties and Krispies all over the floor. Well, Spider-Man swings from buildings and such. Superman flies, the Hulk, he's just tough. And the Fantastic Four, they got plenty of tricks. Batman and Robin are on some strange trip. But when you need protection, none of them will do a thing. Just look in my direction, and I'll be right there to stop that thing. Me and my magic ring. Well, I can move mountains, least that's how I feel. Your love has made me the man of steel. And when our children cry in their sleep, I'm faster than lightning, got wings on my feet. When you need protection, none of them will do a thing. Just look in my direction, and I'll be right there to stop that thing. Me and my magic ring. Me and my magic ring. Magic ring.
Grab a seat. So you're talking about your recordings.
Yep.
Do you remember the first time you were able to record yourself?
Yes.
What was that like?
I had a little reel-to-reel and I recorded in, this was when I was in college. I recorded with a friend of mine. We had a little two-piece group. We played at coffee houses and so forth.
And did you guys have a hit?
No.
Those are always the best.
No.
Okay.
No. No, in fact, we played at the Newman Center one time at St. Cloud State College, and we were so scared we couldn't tune our guitars. So.
That was the first time.
Yeah, that was the first time. And actually, then a few years later, when I moved back to Barrett, then I started a band with him and my brother and a couple other folks, and we did quite a bit of recording back in those days. We did a lot of original songs.
And then now you just recorded an album.
Yep. Yeah. There's a little town called Sparta, Minnesota. It's between Gilbert and Evelyn, and this town that was moved because there's iron ore underneath there. But they left church in the little town, and this fellow started a recording studio there. And that's we recorded there in about a year ago. Basically, it was a big house, and the worship area was where the studio was. Control room where the altar was, where you had that wall up. It was kind of cool.
That was with the whole band, right?
No, that was myself and my son played banjo and drums, and the fellow in the recording studio played bass, and we had a guy come up from Duluth who played some acoustic guitar. No, he played some electric guitar and steel guitar. Played some steel guitar.
What's your favorite part about recording?
Yeah, just collaborations, I think. Just working with different people is a lot of fun, yeah. I recorded with the same people for so many years, and it was really fun to use some different people I'd never played with before, and that was a blast. Yeah. It's a good time.
So you've been doing original music for quite a while now.
A long time. 40 years.
When you start to write a song, where do you start from? Like, is it?
usually just a phrase. This next song I'm going to do, for instance, came from a news story, and I'll explain it when I get into it a little bit. But usually it just starts with a phrase, turn up a sentence, something that sounds interesting, and
So it's never like love or art or
oh yeah, oh there's all that, yeah, yeah.
includes all that.
And lately, when we start having grandkids, they're a lot of fun to write songs about grandkids. Got a few of those we're going to do later on.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I'll let you segue into this next one.
Okay. The little town of Herman, Minnesota, made national news because their city council had a meeting and decided that they needed more women in town. Because there's a town that had lots of bachelors and they needed some women. So the next year they had a great big celebration they called a Bachelor Mania. Ken was there.
Who wasn't?
Who wasn't, exactly? I mean, and they bust in women from New York and everything. And they thought that all these bachelors were going to get married, but there was only one problem. It was Herman, Minnesota. If you come from New York and Los Angeles and you see Herman, Minnesota, you're not going to stick around very long. So I started thinking, well, what kind of pickup lines would a Herman Bachelor have for a big city gal? I wrote a song about it. I got 1,000 acres and a big green tractor and a lot of things that you can't factor. Had a woman once, and you can ask her, yeah, I got it pretty good. I got a big screen TV and a swimming pool, an HI combine that'll make you drool. Had a woman once, I was a fool, but that don't mean I would. She just never understood. I'm thinking you and I should. 2, 3, 4.
So you must have some interesting stories from on the road.
We were playing a wedding dance at a place called 50 Lakes, and it was an outdoor wedding dance. But we were giving them their money's worth, and we even played like an extra hour. Done, and they didn't want us to quit. They were kind of mad. So we packed up, and our drummer, he liked to have one for the road.
It's always the drummer.
Always the drummer. So he went over there. Next thing we knew, they were jumping on him and beating him up. So we went and joined in, and the groom was on top of our drummer, beating him with a shoe. The bride was on top of the groom, beating him with a shoe. We got out of there, and then as we got about a mile or so away, we got a flat tire. And here they come, and they let us go. We got home. Yeah, that's what it was like. Take you on one hell of a ride. Well, I don't choose snooze, I don't get oil. My hands are dirty, but it's good, clean soil. Had a woman once, she was spoiled. Never knew just where I stood. She hurt me pretty good. Yeah, I'm thinking you and I should. 2, 3, 4. I think there was about... Well, I was sitting up in my room, her nursing self-inflicted wounds. Yeah, I was lying back on my bed, trying to stop the crazy in my head. Yeah, I was contemplating suicide. I had the bottle right by my side, but it slipped and busted on the floor. I was bleeding for you once more. Self-inflicted wound. I had a buddy named Crazy Pete. He had a woman who could make him weep. She used to leave him every other day. You should have heard the awful things she'd say. One night she called him on the telephone, said, "Come and get me 'cause I'm all alone." Well, he drove a little too damn fast. She lost her sucker in a flaming crash. Self-inflicted wound. Well, have you heard about Missy Lou? She's so depressed she don't know what to do. I used to see her when I needed gas, tell a joke and try to get a laugh. One day I asked her why she never smiled. She said, "I never found it worth my while." Then she kicked my ass right out the door. I ain't never going back no more. Self-inflicted wound. Self-inflicted wounds. Self-inflicted wounds. So the first song I just got was about my wife and our kids, and this is about, so our kids all got married, and our first grandchild, when I met our first grandchild, everything, it changed everything. And our first 4 grandchildren were girls. So this is kind of a song for them. Peekaboo, patty cake, and how big are you? Every smile that lights up your face is something brand new. Rockabye, hide and seek, the cow it says moo. Oh, I love you so much, I don't know what to do. Playing house, pony rides, the sky is so blue. Every song I sing to you, I promise, is true. Colored blocks, music box, and Grandpa's old shoe. Oh, how I wish that you could know how much I love you. And I will always listen when you've got stories to tell. And when you need kissing, put me under your spell.
What are some of the best concerts you've ever seen?
Oh boy, one of the best shows I ever saw was a couple of years ago. John Prine up at the Fargo Theater. That was really fun. And then we went to the hotel bar afterwards, and John Prine and his band came in and had a few drinks, and we talked. We talked for about a half hour.
Grandma too, sleepy eyes, Betty by, cuddle and coo. I didn't know it would be like this. No, I never knew. And I will always listen when you've got stories to tell, and when you need kissing, put me under your spell. Baby doll that cries and crawls, a brown kangaroo, having tea with cookies and cakes, and the grandma too. Sleepy eyes, Betty by, a cuddle and coo. I didn't know that it would be like this. No, I never knew. I didn't know it would be like this. No, I never knew. I never seen Jesus on a piece of toast, never heard singing by no heavenly hosts, never heard cured of a deadly disease. I ain't never heard the voice of God in the breeze. I may seem like a heathen to everyone and sound like a skeptical son of a gun, but I know a miracle when I see one. Well, out in my yard the other day, all my grandkids was at play. Their grandma and I, we sat in the sun thinking, ain't we the lucky ones? Happy, healthy, full of love, we was truly blessed from above. Then I had this thought that I thought of. I never seen Jesus on a piece of toast, never heard singing by no heavenly hosts, never been cured of a deadly disease. I ain't never heard the voice of God in the breeze. I may seem like a heathen to everyone and sound like a skeptical son of a gun, but I know a miracle when I see one. Now, I don't know too much about God. I spoil the child and I spare the rod. And I don't pray with my hands in the air. I figure he hears me anywhere. I ain't been to church for quite a while. I guess that just ain't my style. But I was there to walk my little girl down the aisle. I never seen Jesus on a piece of toast, never heard singing by no heavenly hosts, never been cured of a deadly disease. I ain't never heard the voice of God in the breeze. I may seem like a heathen to everyone and sound like a skeptical son of a gun, but I know a miracle when I see one. Everybody sing along. I ain't never seen Jesus on a piece of toast, never heard singing by no heavenly hosts, never been cured of a deadly disease. I ain't never heard the voice of God in the breeze. I may seem like a heathen to everyone and sound like a skeptical son of a gun, but I know a miracle when I see one. I know a miracle when I see one. Oh yes, I know a miracle, a holy roll around a miracle. I know a miracle when I see one. Thank you.
I'll do one more song right here. This is a song you can sing along with.
One more song, I need that one.
Okay.
Real casual. All right, so you just recorded this last year.
Yes. Last August.
Which is available for $10.
$10 right here.
Perfect. What's in the cards for you now?
Well, I'm always writing songs. I'm hoping to do another recording sooner rather than later. It was 10 years between the last one. But I've got a bunch of songs ready to go, and I'd like to do some more recording. I'd like to, well, maybe I'll record some of your studio. You have a studio in town.
The space station.
Yeah, you know. When I Googled space station, I got a site that will show you what is actual space station comes over.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any relatives that play?
All my relatives play. Yes. My brother Ken right here plays guitar. Plays guitar. His son Bradford plays in numerous bands in the Twin Cities. My son Matthew plays up in the Iron Range by solo in the bands. My brother Tony plays drums. He played drums with me for 10 years, and now he plays with the Honky Tonk Stardust Cowboys and Patsy Cline Band.
Cassie and Bob.
Yeah.
What needs to happen to get all you guys together, like an all-star?
Nathan plays too.
Yeah, that's right. Nathan, that's on Nathan plays. Yeah. What would you take this together? Alcohol would help. No. My son Nathan, when he was in high school, he had to do a essay about something that his dad was involved in. So he knew I was an old hippie, so he said, "Well, Dad, what was the '60s like?" And I said, "Yeah, I thought." He said, "Well, what did you want to do? What did you want to accomplish? With all this protesting and long hair and drugs and all that stuff." Well, we just kind of wanted to do something good, We just wanted to do something good. So I wrote a song about that, if I can remember it. Well, if we all pulled together like we're better, and I know that we could do something good, something good. Yeah, if we just stopped the fighting and the biting, and you know that we could do something good, something good, something good, something good. Something I knew all along, if we really, really wanted, we would. Something good, something good. Do something good. We all live in houses in the very same neighborhood. Do something good, something good. Well, if we stopped all the shouting, there's no doubting we'd be understood. Do something good, something good, something good, something good. Something kind of old-fashioned like sister and brotherhood. Something good, something good. Do something good. Everybody now. Something good, something good. Something kind of old-fashioned like sister and brotherhood. Do something good, something good. Do something good. Now, we're not going to have any peace in the world until you guys all sing along with me on this now. Something good, something good. Something kind of old-fashioned like sister and brotherhood. Do something good, something good. Do
good. You know we all live in houses in the very same neighborhood. Do something good. Something good. Well, we should all stop shouting long enough to be understood. Do something good. Something good. Do something good.